What if everything you believed about your family, your marriage, and even your path to heaven turned out to be a lie? Mary Brown recently sat down for a deeply revealing interview on the podcast I Do Part 2, hosted by TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, two former morning show co-hosts whose careers exploded after their secret relationship was exposed while they were both still married to other people. Now reinventing themselves as podcasters, they went straight for the heart of Mary's story, asking questions about her time on Sister Wives, her personal journey through polygamy, her dating life today, and what it has been like to completely rebuild herself after walking away from the faith and family she once thought defined her. And Mary didn't hold back. She revealed a shocking truth. She admitted that she had been in a cult. She openly confessed that her marriage to Cody Brown wasn't based on love alone, but on the belief that marrying him was her only ticket to the celestial kingdom, a doctrine she had been taught since childhood, drilled into her as the only path to heaven. Even more stunning, Mary revealed that she had started questioning her faith years before the TV show even began. Much like Christine, she had been presenting a happy, faithful face to the cameras while secretly wrestling with doubts and disbelief. On the show, they all promoted polygamy as a lifestyle of choice, insisting it wasn't about coercion or blind faith, unlike groups such as Warren Jeffs. They told viewers, "We're not a cult, we're just a family built on love." But behind closed doors, Mary's heart was already rebelling, silently screaming that something was very, very wrong. And what Mary revealed next about the crushing guilt and blame she endured will change the way you see the entire Sister Wives family forever. Imagine living every single day believing that everything wrong in your life was your fault. Your marriage, your body, even your faith. Now imagine what happens when you dare to question that belief. When the hosts asked Mary what pushed her to start questioning her religion, she took a deep breath and revealed that it wasn't just one sudden moment, it was a slow, painful unraveling. She explained that even before the family moved to Las Vegas, around the very time they were first discussing the idea of creating Sister Wives, 15, 16, even 17 years ago, her heart was already filled with doubts. But she kept those doubts locked deep inside. She didn't dare talk to Cody about them. She didn't confide in her sister wives. She didn't speak to anyone. Why? Because in her world, everything was always her fault. Mary described it like this. She was told she was wrong in how she handled her marriage. Her body was deemed wrong because she couldn't have more children. When new wives joined the family and jealousy consumed her, that jealousy wasn't natural. It was a sin, proof that she was wrong again. And now, as her faith itself began to crumble, she was absolutely certain that if anyone found out, she would once again be condemned, gaslit, and shamed. So she stayed silent, drowning in guilt. Mary's words were gut-wrenching. I was always wrong, for my feelings, for my body, for not being enough. And if I dared to question my religion, I knew I'd be wrong for that too. The weight of that blame broke her spirit over the years. It left her isolated, terrified, and vulnerable to manipulation, not just by Cody, but by everyone around her. But Mary's silence didn't just protect her doubts. It became the perfect weapon for those who wanted to control her every move. And the way they used that silence against her is something you have to hear to believe. What if the very people you trusted most, your family, your spouse, your community, were secretly the ones breaking you down piece by piece, while convincing the world that you were happy? As Mary continued her heartbreaking story, the reality of her silence became crystal clear. Her doubts and insecurities didn't just eat her alive. They became tools of manipulation for Cody, Robin, and even the other sister wives. Whenever Mary tried to spread her wings, to grow more independent, there was always someone ready to pull her back under. Robin, in particular, mastered the art of emotional gaslighting. She would say things like, "Don't go to college, you'd be abandoning me. Don't chase your own dreams, because if you do, you're giving up on this family. I only want to do this family because of you." Mary's desires and ambitions were constantly twisted into guilt trips, making her feel selfish for wanting even the smallest taste of freedom. Cody, meanwhile, played mind games, switching between cold rejection and calculated affection, keeping Mary forever desperate for scraps of his approval. And then there was the show itself, On camera, sister wives painted a glossy, sanitized picture of a joyful, polygamous family. They proclaimed to the world, "This isn't like Warren Jeff's cult. We choose this life. We're a loving family," but behind closed doors, the truth was toxic and suffocating. The wives weren't empowered women. They were programmed and indoctrinated, forced to hide their pain to protect the image of the family. Every smile, every group hug, every "we're just like everyone else" speech was a performance, a lie they told not only to the world, but to themselves. And here's the cruel twist. Because they sat there and lied on national television, the audience began to turn against them. Viewers judged them, mocked them, and asked why they were so stupid for fighting over Cody. The women became villains in the public eye, when in reality, they were victims trapped in a system too powerful and dangerous to escape. But Mary's breaking point didn't come from the cameras, or even Cody. It came from a realization so painful, it shattered her very sense of self. And what she confessed next will make you question everything you thought you knew about sister wives. 2 women, 1 man, and a lifetime of pain. What happens when jealousy, betrayal, and trauma collide in a family built on lies? As Mary opened up about her experience, a haunting truth emerged. No one inside the family could truly trust each other. If Mary confided in one sister wife, she risked that conversation being reported back to Cody, who would twist her words to shame and control her. It created a household of secrets, tiptoeing, and constant fear. Mary revealed how she withdrew from the family, setting strict boundaries to protect her fragile sense of autonomy. When people criticized her for being distant, they didn't understand the truth. She wasn't being cold or selfish. She was desperate for a safe space, a place where she could just breathe without being watched or judged. This tension became even more complicated when Christine's journey began to mirror Mary's own earlier struggles. When Robin entered the picture, Christine became the one who was jealous, heartbroken, and harder to get along with. She lashed out, confronted Robin, and even tiptoed around her just as Mary once had. Christine wasn't wrong for feeling this way. She was reacting to deep emotional wounds, just like Mary had years before. But here's the tragedy. Christine couldn't fully empathize with Mary, because when you're trapped in pain yourself, it's almost impossible to see someone else's suffering clearly. Mary reflected on this dynamic with heartbreaking clarity. She explained that in environments like theirs, cult-like systems built on control and trauma, empathy is deliberately destroyed. Everyone is kept in fight-or-flight mode, their focus narrowed to their own pain, making it easy for the person at the top, Cody, to manipulate and divide them. Even Christine, who would later speak out about Mary in her book, never truly understood the full story. Yes, Mary had her flaws. She yelled, she was strict with the kids, and she sometimes came across as harsh, but Christine wasn't blameless either. She too had moments that hurt Mary deeply, moments driven by jealousy, competition, and survival instincts in a system designed to pit women against each other. And then came the darkest truth of all. This wasn't just emotional warfare. Mary revealed that the world she escaped from was tied to crime, danger, and lawlessness that most people couldn't even imagine. What if the man you loved and the faith you followed were secretly tied to a world of crime, violence, and lawlessness? Mary Brown's next revelation will leave you shaken. As Mary's interview deepened, she revealed how escaping the cult didn't mean she could leave her past behind. Even now, in her new chapter of life, her history casts a long, dangerous shadow, especially when it comes to dating. Mary admitted that many men refuse to date her, not because of who she is as a person, but because of the world she came from. The cult she was raised in isn't just a group of strict believers. It's a dangerous network of men who consider themselves above the law. They operate like sovereign citizens, rejecting government authority entirely. They traffic women in human labor, hoard illegal weapons, and even smuggle firearms, all while believing they answer to no one, not the police, not the courts, not society. This creates a terrifying reality. Any man who dates Mary risks being dragged into that criminal world simply because of his connection to her. Many men are understandably scared, and some simply walk away rather than face the danger. Mary spoke with sadness about how unfair this is, both for herself and for others who leave these groups. Those who escape the cult didn't choose to be born into it. They fought to get out, But outsiders must understand that stepping into a relationship with a former member means walking into a storm of baggage, secrets, and threats. Mary shared stories of people who were naive about this danger, like women who married into the community without fully understanding its darkness, only to find themselves trapped and cut off from their families, just like what happened with Janelle. Janelle's own family tried to rescue her, even labeling the group a cult. But the deeper she was pulled in, the more isolated she became. To this day, Janelle remains estranged from much of her family because of those choices. This is why Mary's dating life feels almost impossible. Finding someone like Christine's partner, a man whose family understood and accepted her past, is incredibly rare. Most people are either too afraid or too overwhelmed by the darkness that comes with the sister wives' legacy. But even after exposing these horrifying truths, Mary ended her interview on a note that no one expected, a revelation about Cody and her hopes for the future that may change everything you thought you knew about their relationship. After a lifetime of secrets, betrayal, and heartbreak, Mary Brown was finally free. But her last confession about Cody will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about their love story. As Mary's interview reached its emotional conclusion, she spoke about Cody Brown, the man who had once been her entire world. Viewers have long assumed that Mary harbored anger, resentment, even hatred toward him for everything she endured. But Mary surprised everyone by revealing the truth about where her heart really stands today. Mary explained that she doesn't hate Cody. She doesn't want revenge, and she doesn't want to destroy him. Instead, she simply wants to move forward, to carve out a new life that has nothing to do with him or the pain of the past. She admitted that she wishes Cody would change, that he would finally take responsibility for the ways he has hurt their family. But she has also accepted a heartbreaking reality. He may never change. And because of that, Mary no longer has the energy or desire to fight for a relationship with him. Her words were calm but powerful, carrying the weight of years of struggle. I don't want to trash him. I don't want to live in anger. I just don't want to be with him anymore. I want to move on. This quiet strength is the clearest sign of how far Mary has come. She's no longer the woman trapped in a cult, shamed for her feelings, manipulated by guilt, or gaslit into silence. She's a survivor who has reclaimed her voice, even if the world doesn't fully understand the depth of her story. Mary's journey is a reminder that the truth is rarely simple. Behind the glamorous facade of reality television, there are hidden wounds, unspoken sacrifices, and lives forever scarred by systems of control. As Mary steps into her future, one thing is certain. Her courage to finally come clean has changed the way we see not only sister wives, but the entire world it exposed. But perhaps the biggest question remains. As Mary walks away, what will become of those still trapped inside the world she escaped? And will they ever find the strength to break free, just like she did? Don't miss the next headline. Like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell.